Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be talking about books. Over the past few days I have been reading quite a bit, one series in particular, and that would be the Body Finder series. The Body Finder series by Kimberly Derting. Now this series follows a 16-year-old girl. Her name is Violet, and Violet has a special ability. Basically, her ability is she can sense bodies of those who have been murdered. As morbid as it sounds, the whole series isn't necessarily that dark. However, in beautiful books, there are going to be flaws. I'm just going to be telling you the things I did like and the things I did not like about the series as a whole. I definitely loved the characters. Of course, there was one or two where I was kind of like, ew, like get out, but in general, I loved the way all characters were described, how each character played an important part in the storyline. However, there was not a huge amount of character development, and that just really irritated me. With some characters there was, but not necessarily with every single character. Like throughout 4 books, I kind of expected there to be more of a change. Violet, the main character, made some pretty stupid decisions. She was the one who could have used some kind of character development, like the most, compared to everyone else. In every single book, her family would be telling her, don't do this, you're going to get hurt. What does she do? The opposite. She does the complete opposite of what her family is telling her. Because when she kind of finds some of the bodies, it never really ends well, ever. When she wants to go after a killer, why I don't know, when she does, it does not really end well. The plotline was very clear from beginning to the end of the series, and there was never any scenes or moments where it strayed away from that. So I'm glad that the plot stayed true to itself through all 4 books. The author really went where I thought the story was going to go. It wasn't like, oh, for example, like this person's going to die but then they don't, or this person's not going to die and then they do. It was kind of just very to the point. I just thought that the plotline was definitely very good and it kept me on the edge of my seat. Like in every single book, I was kept on the edge of my seat. I wanted to keep reading. I never thought to myself, should I stop reading this or should I continue or should I just give it a break for now? I just could not put it down. Like the various different moments in which I was terrified for Violet. Again, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but she has come to life-threatening situation by herself, and with those moments, I was always kept on the edge of my seat. I was always wanting to know what was going to happen next. However, throughout the many different chapters, toward the end of each chapter, there would always be a point of view change. Normally I wouldn't have a problem with this, but I feel that these few pages of, different point of views didn't really make any sense to me until I finished the 4th book. It was just very difficult to tell whose point of view it was in and why it was in their point of view. I understand where Kimberly Derting was going with that approach. I just don't really think it made it any better, but it also didn't make it any less well written. The writing and the writing style was very clear throughout the whole series. There was never any unnecessary words, like unnecessary large words. It was kept on a good level where the reader would not get distracted by the large words that were used because there really weren't that many unnecessary ones. And also the way the author wrote the story overall kind of made me feel like I was in the story. Most of the time, the way the writing was really allowed me to get in touch with the characters and the way they were feeling, whether it was they were scared or sad or nervous or just excited or anything of that sort. Really made me understand each character and the things that they go through and the things that they had to face previously and how their relationships with each other have definitely changed. And then the last thing I would like to say is the ending. I strongly disliked the ending. When I finished reading the series, after the end, the camera decided to run out of battery. Anyway, the ending. So after I finished the 4th book, I felt there were definitely some loose ends that needed to be tied up. I also think a few more pages in the book would have been enough to perfectly end just the whole series. I feel it was a generally awkward ending, and I feel like the author could have definitely done something different with it, like I said, even within a few more pages. In all honesty, because of the large and brilliant storyline, I was definitely expecting more of the ending. But even though I really was not a big fan of the ending, that does not change anything else about these books. So I highly recommend these books. That was that, and I hope that you all enjoyed it. Hopefully I will see you next week.